what made you decide to see the Soviet Union by train, Mr. Fry?
Well, the choice was yak, bicycle, or Aeroflot. And all the yaks and bikes were taken.
What was the longest journey?
Trans-Siberia, 10 days of permafrost. I shared a compartment with some caged birds, a woman who cured herrings. I was always puzzled as to how she knew which ones were sick. And a trampoline artist. Sadly, he left us after the third day. He was practicing in the observation car. He didn't notice they'd opened the roof, so one boing and he was gone.
Honestly?
No.
You must have spent almost a year on Russian trains.
Well, you see, it's devilish hard to find somewhere to live in Moscow. One day I saw a man flailing around in the Moscow River, shouting, "Help, help." So I looked for something with which to aid him. I said, "Well, you better tell me your name and address." So he said, "Ivan something, flat B, 25 Novotny Prospect." So I left him to drown, and Beetle drowned there. Too late, flat had already been taken by the chap who pushed him in.
Pushed him in?
That's it.
Sir Roland, what are you doing here? What if Fry sees you?
Fry invited me. I suppose it appeals to his sense of irony. You see, when we banished him to Moscow in '82, instead of exposing him, we needed a cover story. So the book idea was mine.
Did he write it?
Not a word. A chap called Sandy McIntyre in the Russia House lashed it together.
So the whole thing is a fabrication?
Well, at least it's consistent with the rest of his life.
Woman approaching is Parker Morrow.
CIA person.
X.
Has she cottoned on to the truth about Fry?
Hard to tell. Parker, you look superb. Oh, have you met Sir Roland White?
Oh, Sir Roland, how are you?
Well, thank you.
Did Lucas really write this book, or was it ghosted for him?
That's outrageous, Parker. Lucas has a remarkable literary flair.
Really? Longest thing I've ever seen him write is a note to a waitress.
He's always had a keen interest in trains, hasn't he, Duckham?
Oh, yes, but even at school he was always slipping off to some local level crossing and jotting down numbers.
The Brits are closing ranks. I better circulate.
Nobody's fool, Miss Morrow.
She is what the Americans would call a sharp little biscuit.
I think the word is shrewd, Duckham, and I think the word is cookie.
And trains were always a passion of yours?
Well, I had my first experience of passion on a train, actually. It was somewhere south of Peterborough, but with a much older woman of 16.
And you were?
8.5. Excuse me.
Fry seems to have torn himself away from that bevy of female admirers.
Keep your guard up. No reason we shouldn't be seen talking together.
First time for years, right?
Seen anything of Botty Bamford recently?
Oh, I believe he's terribly well. Either that or dead.
Fine!
I suppose you're reminiscing of the old days.
Yes, we were just saying that we hadn't seen each other since when was it? 84, 85?
And I'm sure it seems like yesterday.
Looks like your book is a great success, Fry. I haven't got round to reading it myself, I'm afraid.
Oh, nor have I. But I've been approached by some agents.
Agents?
Literary, not secret. No, they seem to think I have another book in me.
Oh, well, you better check with Sandy McIntyre before you sign anything.
Sorry, who?
The poor bugger who wrote your first one.
And this one's for Tamsin. Would the former Mrs. Duckham like one?
Are you sending them to all your ex-mistresses?
No, there aren't enough copies. The publisher says the advance is very healthy. The title was my idea. It was toss-up between that or, pardon me, Vlad, is this the Tbilisi choo-choo?
These sleeve notes are another pack of lies.
Well, I did embellish them a little.
Playing the piano in a San Paulo brothel.
It is not strictly true.
Too bloody right it isn't.
I was the handyman. damned handy on occasion, I can tell you.
You were never in the South American sector, I'd have known.
No, you only knew about deep cover. You sometimes knew about deep cover. Never about deep cover.
There's no such term.
That's how deep it was. So deep I didn't know sometimes if I was there myself.
Well, it couldn't have been a brothel. I'd have known by the petty cash vouchers.
You see, you desk jockeys always resented us chaps in the field because we got to see something of the world. You were born in Surrey, right?
Nothing to be ashamed of.
As was your father, the Reverend Stephen Henry Duckham. You went to prep school in Surrey. You did your military service in the East Surrey. You were married in Surrey, and you probably went from the church to the reception in a Surrey with a fringe on top. Why don't you write your own book? Great Train Journeys of Surrey.
Well, at least no one would have to write it for me. And I wouldn't embellish the bio with how I worked in a bordello in Dorking.
Sadly for Dorking, there is no bordello. There is, however, a woman with a dungeon in Purley who used to beat Botty Bamford.
This sort of arrived.
Sort of who from?
Don't know, one of those Dayglow motorbike guys delivered it.
Obviously one of your publishing groupies.
It doesn't seem to be a card or anything.
Peaches pickled in Calvados.
Oh, yummy.
Stilton, Bath Olivers, caviar, vodka.
Oh, let's have a midnight feast.
Yes, go put your pajamas on, Tamsin.
I wouldn't be in them long if you opened that vodka.
You're probably sick of caviar by now, having been in Russia for such a long time, but I wouldn't mind a taste.
Just a second, Duckham. That caviar is from the wrong end of the Caspian.
Oh, for God's sake, do me a favour. I'm from Surrey, remember? Lumpfish is a luxury in Surrey.
Yes, but Fortnum's doesn't stock this brand, which means that someone has replaced the tin. Do we have magnifying glass?
Yeah, sure. Here you are, Leaky.
Thank you, Tansy. Yes. The seal's been broken. Do we still have the number of that anti-terrorist organization?
Yes?
Better give them a call and get everyone out the building.
What's going on?
Bomb on the caviar. Fortunately not voice activated. After you've made the call, we'll nip round to Fortnum's.
Do you think...
Where are you, Duckham? Oh, there you are.
Do you think they'd remember who bought the hamper?
No, I shouldn't think so, but there'll be so much activity around here, I thought we'd have tea.
Have you had a report on the bomb?
Clockwork mechanism designed to detonate upon opening the lid.
Bomb and caviar. KGB?
Oh, it's a bit obvious. I think it may be someone who wants us to think it's the KGB.
Yeah, unless they want you to think it is the KGB, wanting you to think it's someone who wants you to think it's the KGB.
That sounds the most plausible to me.
Which?
That last one.
You know, each intelligence service has its own signature. CIA was very fond of a bomb in the heel of a shoe.
Yes, and of course the Bulgarians made the umbrella tip famous. The poison umbrella tip, you remember that?
Well, who is most likely to be after you, Lucas?
It's not necessarily me, you know. We're all in the espionage game. We all have enough skeletons in our collective cupboards to fill Highgate Cemetery.
Well, I worked in Whitehall all my life, and my worst enemy was the wheel clamp unit.
I wonder. I've never really bought that idea that you're as dull as you paint yourself. I think that in the deep, dark labyrinth of the circus, your code name might have been the Terminator.
Can't deny or confirm it, I'm afraid.
Lucas is right. We should watch each other's backs for the next few days.
Perhaps you should move in here, Parker. You can share my room.
I feel safer in Beirut.
Just a second. Did you order another round?
No, I assumed you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, Sandy knows our habits.
Permit me, Duckham. May I borrow your fountain pen? Thank you, Doctor.
What are you doing, Lucas?
If the cognac turns green, it means there is cyanide present. No, it's perfectly safe to drink.
Good morning, Sir Roland. Something's come up. Top priority. I think we should meet ASAP. Well, somebody may be trying to kill me, sir. Well, when will your golf game be over? Well, I could catch a train in 20 minutes. The 10th hole? How will I know that? The one after the 9th. I see. I'm on my way, sir. I have to skip out for a while, Tamsin.
Oh gosh, I don't awfully like being here on my own under the circs. Couldn't I just put on the answer machine and go to Harrods?
Taxi!
Taxi!
Oh, my God. Tamsin, get me an ambulance.
There'll be another cab in a moment, Peter.
You stupid girl, I could be dead in a moment.
Quack, quack. I came as quickly as I could. False alarm, was it?
Obviously, or I'd be in the morgue by now.
Oh, dear. No, I don't mean, oh, dear, you're not in the morgue. I mean, oh, dear, how embarrassing.
Well, I was embarrassed, actually. I mean, I had to drop my trousers in front of a doctor and 6 student nurses.
And despite their insistence to the contrary, I suppose they found no evidence of the tiniest little prick.
I blame you for blowing this whole thing out of all proportion.
Bloody maniac!
Try, speak to me. Speak. Oh, my God, and you've just saved my life.
Twice now, actually.
When did this come in, Tamsin?
It was here when I got back to the office.
Publish and die.
Scary, isn't it? I mean, what's going on, Parker? There was Peter this morning in the middle of Mayfair totally freaking out because he thought he had a poison pellet up his bum.
Just be thankful he didn't ask you to suck the poison out.
Absolutely. I mean, what's next? A tarantula in the loo?
Maybe it's best you don't know.
I never do. The boys tell me nothing.
They do that to protect you. What you don't know can't hurt you.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought they thought I was sort of dim or something. What's that?
Peter, you look awful. We thought it was a false alarm.
The poison umbrella was a false alarm, but the masked maniac on a motorbike wasn't.
What are you talking about?
Somebody is trying to kill me, or Lucas, or both. I need a scotch.
Do you want some ice?
No ice, no water, no ink.
Tamsin?
Oh, right, no.
It's not you, Peter. Lucas is the mark.
But I don't understand. Why would somebody be upset about a book about trains?
Not that book. He's shopping his memoirs. Think about it. At the launch, he was schmoozing with literary agents. The word's leaked out, and it's shaken somebody's tree.
The Russians?
Could be. Could be my people. Could be yours. We better kill these memoirs, Peter, before somebody kills Lucas.
Sorry, peaches in Calvados.
This has always been my greatest fear, Duckham. That's why I put you in there in the first place. If there is a manuscript, I want to see it. Search his room, search your office, and what about that girl who works for you?
Oh, I don't think I could search Tamsin, sir.
I mean, search her flat. If this is what you say it is, We may have to get heavy.
But have you already got heavy? Is it the Brits who are trying to knock off Fry?
No! Well, I say no, but of course I can't swear to it. I'm semi-retired, of course, and sometimes your right elbow doesn't always know what your left foot is doing.
Will you please tell the left foot to keep me out of its line of fire?
The fallout affects us all, you know. I may have to give my knighthood back. And let me tell you, once you've got used to a knighthood, you're very loath to give it up. Always get a good table in a restaurant. Marjorie likes being Lady White. The butcher always gives her the best bits.
With all respect, sir, I found myself in 2 life-threatening situations, and you are more concerned with the quality of your lamb chops.
Are you cracking up, Duckham? You have that look that Randy Farmelo had the night he walked into Guy's hospital with a gun and insisted that they make him a woman.
Randy Farmelo from the check section.
Yes, they humoured him. Said could he come and collect her the following day.
Are those your lunch receipts?
I think you know what it is, Parker.
I think it's the reason people are trying to kill you.
Dances with Moles by Lucas Fry. What do you think?
Nice title, as long as they don't sue you.
Or do you prefer The Spy at Night?
Too flip.
What are you going to call yours?
Excuse me?
Your book on me, what are you going to call it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You could, if we'd had an affair, call it The Fry Who Loved Me. It's not too late, Parker.
I think your brains are fried, Lucas.
Recently, I rather sneakily examined your travel agent's accounts. Since we met, you've been to Moscow twice, Leningrad, Kiev, and even dear old Kazakhstan. Now, what would a woman of your sophistication want in Kazakhstan? The spring collections?
Okay. I was retracing your steps, checking your past.
You didn't talk to those twins at the Moscow State Circus. You know, the contortionist. Oh, I'd hate my mother to read that.
Your mother died in '82.
Oh, you have done your homework.
The premise of my book is the CIA got to you in '78. They set up the scenario where you were exposed as a British traitor. The Brits buried the story in the interest of national security, and you were allowed to go to Moscow. But the whole time, you were being run by a bunch of suits in Washington. Dear old MI5 was completely in the dark.
I propose a deal, Parker. You can publish your book more easily than I can mine. I'm also rather anxious to know who's trying to kill me. So I'll tell you everything I know is the least I can do for 50% of your royalties.
Okay. Will you fill in some of my blanks?
Everything I give you will be loaded.
Ooh!
Switch the light on, Parker.
It's me, for God's sake!
Are you all right, Peter?
No, I am not. That doorknob got me right in the cobblers.
Better frisk him, Parker.
What are you doing?
This is the fun bit. Enjoy it.
What I have just heard is enough to make what is left of my hair curl. That all these years I was just a puppet while the Yanks pulled my strings.
Could have been worse. Could have been the friend.
Oh, and I suppose Tamsin is working for Mossad.
Yeah, we should check that out. Never really bought her dumb act.
You know, I've often wanted to ask you why you wanted me to be your partner, and now I realize it was because you needed somebody to show off to. It's rather like poor old Dr. Watson and that insufferable prick Sherlock Holmes. Thank God you don't play the violin.
I think we better put you in the bigger picture. I was sent to Moscow in '82 to make sure that the right man took over in the Kremlin.
Oh, please. Now you're going to tell me that without you there would have been no Gorbachev.
No Gorbachev, no Glasnost, no Perestroika.
What a killer hook. We published this and we're looking at 26 weeks on the New York Times nonfiction list.
I think I'm going mad. He will be sanitized, lionized, canonized.
Peter,
That's a shock, but it's not worth killing yourself.
I don't want to kill myself. I want to kill Fry. Actually, the barman's gone home, so we won't bother to charge these. Soda?
I think I'd prefer cyanide.
If it consoles you, Peter, there is still a large balloon of doubt over the question of Lucas Fry. I did confirm Parker's theory for her. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
I should know by now there is no such thing as the truth, only important lies. Perhaps I should write my own book, The Man Who Knew Too Little.
You know almost everything now.
Oh, please, please. I've had enough to absorb for one day.
Don't you want to know who tried to kill me?
I don't really care. I just wish they'd hurry up and do it.
It was me. I faked the whole thing. Sent my own bomb. The motorcyclist was a stuntman.
Why?
No. You've had far too much to absorb for one day.
No. Hit me again.
The death threats convinced Parker that I was writing my memoirs. I suckered her in, and now I've got 50% of hers.
But you did write your own memoirs. I saw them on the desk. They were 3 inches thick.
3 inches of blank paper. You know me, crackers. I'm far too lazy to write a book. Want another surprise?
No, that's enough, thank you. I'm calling Sir Roland. I don't care if it is the middle of the night. It serves the bastard right. I quit. Retire. I'm out of the game. I'm going to grow begonias. In deep. Sorry.
What it might soothe your nerves, Watson.